Welcome to Empowering the Working Mom podcast, the place where working moms find inspiration, support, and practical advice to thrive in their professional and personal lives while aligning it all with God. I'm your host, Latika Vines, a fellow working mom on a mission to empower you to embrace your God-given strength and resilience of balancing work and life while leading you to align it all with God. Twice monthly, we'll delve into topics that matter to you, from time management, advancing your career, mental health, your relationship with God, and so much more. Get ready for insightful interviews with inspiring working moms, experts, and thought leaders who'll share their wisdom, their experiences, their prayers, and their Tabitha moments. Because together, we can break down barriers, defy stereotypes, and rewrite the narrative of being a working mom. So get ready for your empowering moment. Welcome to the Empowering Working Mom podcast. Hey, working moms, welcome to another episode of Empowering the Working Mom podcast. I am your host, Latika Vines, and I am so excited that you are here with us again for another episode. I am so excited. If this is your first time joining us, I want to say thank you so much for being here. And if you are joining us again, listening again, I just want to say thank you. Now, listen, I want to tell you today is a special day. It really is. And I believe this is an important day for you because the winter cohort of the Empowered Working Mom Coaching Program opens today. It is officially open today. And if you've been praying for direction, for confirmation, for clarity, or something from God to say that this is the time to stop surviving and start thriving, today is your day. I want to take you behind the scenes of the program on what it is, why it works, and how it can transform your home, your work, and your life. And I'll also share why this winter cohort is like any other program out there. Any other coaching program out there, and why now is the time to step into your next season, 2026, renewed, refreshed, and restored. So take a moment, gather yourself, grab some tea, take a deep breath, and let's dig deeper into aligning your career, your calling, and your life with the vision that God has for you. But before we get started, I wanted to let you know that in celebration and recognition of National Career Development Month, we have a webinar that is just for you, the career evolution of working moms. In this webinar, I dig more into how we as working moms have evolved from the very early days of us coming into the workforce into now. And this is an opportunity to kind of see some of the things that you've been feeling about your career. Is this is time for me to move? Should I change career? Should I move to another organization? Should I, inquire about a promotion? All the things we talk about in this webinar, the career evolution of working moms. It is available for immediate access. Go into the show notes, click on the link for you to get the access so you can have an immediate download of the webinar. It is for you, and definitely during this time of National Career Development Month. So don't forget to go to the show notes and check out the webinar. That is completely complimentary to you. So, have you grabbed your tea yet? Have you taken a deep breath? I want to say to you, I did not start out doing this work, okay? I did not. I didn't even know that I was going to do what I am doing today as your working mom in power. Honestly, after I had my daughter, 8 years ago, I was really just trying to survive. If you are new here, I want to share that 8 years ago, I was diagnosed with postpartum depression after I had my daughter. She was about 7, 8 months at the time. And honestly, I got sick. I actually had a sinus infection and went to the doctor. My husband forced me, literally forced me to the doctor. And I went to my primary care and who happened to be an OBGYN. And she, asked how I was doing, what's happening, blah, blah, blah. And then the questions. Hey, I want to ask you some more questions, which were postpartum depression questions. And I know, and I am so grateful for her that she saw that I was exhausted. She saw that I was disconnected. And what I realized is that I was pouring out in every direction and leaving myself empty. And then she said, once I finished the questionnaire, yep, you have postpartum depression, just so casually. And I was just like, oh, okay. As someone who's been through that again, this is that was my second time having postpartum depression. So I kind of knew, but I didn't. It really was a shock for me. And I remember really asking myself, how in the world did I get here? How did I lose myself in this? And what I realized when I had to sit down, because what my doctor did is she said, okay, it's time for you to take a break from work. You need to be home. So she literally wrote a note for 2 weeks for me to be home. And her exact words were, get your life together. And, of course, she assisted me as far as giving me resources and really was a listening ear. But what I had to do was go back home, sit down with God, and ask, how did I get here? What was I doing? And what I realized is that I was doing everything but what was necessary. So I lost myself in motherhood and marriage and commuting about 3 hours a day. I'm working full time out the home. Some days I do telework, but others I wasn't. I was serving in our church. I was a lead of 6 ministries. I'm cooking and I'm cleaning and I'm carrying the emotional load of my children because at this particular time, my youngest was not even one. And so that made my daughter 2 at the time, then so 7-month old, a 2-year old, a 4-year old, and a 6-year-old. Okay. And I was breastfeeding, I was doing all the things. And honestly, I was wearing a mask that I was fine, that I literally was fine, and that I was superwoman and I'm doing it all. And my doctor, Dr. Williams, saw right through me. And she saw that I was not fine. And honestly, I wasn't. But I felt that I was fine because I was being faithful. I was showing up in all these different places faithfully, but really I was not fine. And just because you're showing up faithfully doesn't mean that you're doing what is necessary. You're doing what is in alignment with what God has called for you to do. And what I realized when I took that time, I literally had to do like a wheel of life check. And what I realized is that it was not necessary for me to be in those 6 ministries, period, let alone leading them. Then it wasn't necessary for me to be in a job where I felt stuck. Because on top of motherhood, marriage, and everything else, I felt stuck in that job. Not to mention carrying the emotional load, doing all the cooking, doing all the cleaning. And let me just say, my husband, he would cook, right? He would cook on the grill, he would do things here and there, but on a regular basis, it was me. And my husband was also going up the career ladder. And so he was doing a lot of networking and, really out of the home a lot during this time period. So I really was superwoman. I felt like I was superwoman because I was doing it all and I was doing it all being faithful with a smile on my face, but I was not fine. But when I realized this, literally in tears, praying, pouring my heart out, I had to completely surrender to God. And what he told me several things. But two things he told me that I will never forget is that I wasn't supposed to do the things that I was doing, and that he is the visionary of my life. Straight to the point. Nothing more and nothing less. And I know that that moment, and I know it, I remember it so vividly. I was walking in our neighborhood and God whispered that to me because he has that still small voice. And I was doing my prayer walks, and that's when he talked to me and said, "Hey, I'm the visionary of your life. I'm telling you what you need to do. I'm telling you what to do. It's not you. So you need to make sure that you're in alignment with what I'm doing." Well, that became the foundation of everything I did moving forward. And that was in 2018. And what I know is that once I was able to literally get my life together, God then told me, now go help all the other working moms that you know. And so honestly, the coaching programs, the other events that I do, the Empowering the Working Mom Breakfast, um, the Real Talk Summit that I do every year, the podcast, like all the things that I do is what I'm able to share with working moms across the world. That you don't have to choose between being a present mom and fulfilling your God given purpose. With God, it's not either or, it's both and. So he's telling you to be a present mom, and he's also telling you to fulfill your God given purpose. You can do both. And something that really convicted me recently, I was reading John chapter 15. Now, John 15, I absolutely love, and I absolutely love John 15, verses 1 through 5. I think that's probably one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible outside of Revelation 21, 3 and 4. But what got me was there is no difference between what you are here on this earth for and what God saved you from. And what I mean by that is God saved me from rejection, from abandonment. And he has placed me on this earth to go be with others and empower them and preach the gospel to them, teach the gospel to them about God never leaving or forsaking us. And I believe that we as working moms are in that boat of feeling rejected and abandoned because, for me, it was feeling rejected and abandoned by my external family, feeling rejected and abandoned by a set of religion and religious rules, if you will, being rejected and abandoned by others, other people, right? And so all of that combined, here I am trying to do all the things and make myself look important when really God was like, why? 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 And honestly, I can't even tell you why I was doing all the things. I don't know why I was carrying the emotional load of my entire family. That's not solely my responsibility. I have a whole husband. And we have to share the load together. We have to share the emotional load, the physical load, the mental load, the spiritual load together. That was not my responsibility to take it on by myself, right? But there again lies the rejection and the abandonment that I experienced in my long time, okay? I think really when I fully was able to realize that God never leaves me or forsakes me, and if I abide in him, he abides in me. Let me tell you, it probably took me about 38 years to recognize it. And now today, at the age of over 40, understanding that he is always with me. So when I feel alone, when I feel like I have to quote unquote impress people. God sits there and reminds me I'm your visionary. I'm here with you. I'm present with you. I've given you an assignment, and that's what I need you to do. And so that really has been the foundation for what I do for working moms and empowering them. And so the revelation that come from that is faith-centered equity. And I'm so grateful for having a team that can put the terminology together, right? And really make it sound good because I was like, what is this called? But it's really aligning your work in your life and your home with God's order, with His vision. And so you're not operating out of that depletion, but you're operating out of divine alignment. And when you get the opportunity, read Luke 10:34-35, where it really talks about how we are so occupied doing everything else where we are not doing what's necessary. And as working moms, I think that's a lot where the rejection and abandonment surfaces, is that we're doing everything else to combat the rejection and abandonment, but really we are rejecting and abandoning ourselves. Come on now, somebody. We are rejecting and abandoning ourselves because we are walking out of divine alignment. Come on, somebody. Come on. We are rejecting and abandoning ourselves because we are walking out of divine alignment. And so from that alignment came the vision framework. And this is the foundation of our Empowered Working Mom coaching program. Now, I want to be honest with you. This program isn't theory and it's not fluff. And it's not another productivity hack or mom burnout care program or course or trick. It is the very path God had walked me through to reclaim my identity, my authority in Him, my joy, and my voice. And so I want to guide you through it. I want you to be a part of that so that you can stop rejecting and abandoning yourself. So, what is this program? Well, the Empowered Working Mom Coaching Program is a 3-month transformational experience designed for you who is overwhelmed, who is exhausted, but also a purpose driven working mom, where you want to reclaim your identity, where you want to restore your peace, where you want to realign your working life with God, and you want to build a rhythm, a habit that feels sustainable, sacred, and supported. Now, as far as my knowledge is concerned, it's the only coaching program that uses faith centered equity as the foundation, helping you to step into a life where you don't just balance things, right? You align them you align them spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and practically. And that's where the equity comes in. Because when we think about work life balance, we think about how everything has to be measured equally. But with the faith centered equity foundation, you understand that not everything is going to be equal. So, in this season coming up, it might seem that, or it might be that God is telling you, hey, your household is what you need to focus on, where, that's the priority. You're still doing your work and you're still doing the personal life, but your home, your family is what's priority. And so there's going to be, he's going to, tell you, hey, this is not the time for a promotion right now. This is not the time to further your education right now. This is not the time to do this because your family needs you right now. So these are the things you need to do in your family. But I will tell you when the season of career promotion and change, career change will take place. But right now, this is what I need you to focus on. God will tell you what season you need to be in. And so with the vision framework that we go through, using faith centered equity, we break out really 6 things, break out vision, 6 things that we focus on. The first is your voice, your values. right? So you'll discover God's voice, define your values, understand you talking, you communicating with God, and then claim what matters most without feeling guilty. We're also breaking identity, where you'll break free from that guilt, that mom guilt, and the imposter syndrome, and the anxiety and the overwhelm, and really step into your identity as a woman that God called you to be, and not just the roles you fill. Again, the rejection and abandonment that you put on yourself. You rejecting and abandoning yourself. S, the systems. So you will create systems of support, such as boundaries, and really stewarding your time. And I know that's something that we all can work on. Even me, I work on that every single day, making sure that I'm a good steward of my time and ensuring that I have rhythms or habits that work for my real life. That's what you have an opportunity to do with this program. And then really the impact, so you'll learn how your choices and your peace or lack thereof and your alignment influence everything: your home, your career, and your life. And then having order, making sure that you can restore order to your routines and your energy and your environment, your home, your work, even your car, so you can operate from overflow and not exhaustion. And what I mean by that is, one of the things that I've adopted, and this is what I teach others, is that when you get in a car, whether you're commuting to work, whether you're with the kids, whether you're with your husband, whatsoever, if you have Sirius XM, turn on the jazz station. Or what I absolutely love is the spa stations, and there's several of them. And turn that in. And let me tell you, when you have music that can really restore your energy, let me tell you, you can kick that rejection and abandonment out the door, and you can rebuke the devil's tricks and schemes and plans over your life in the name of Jesus, because you now are restored by God. Restored. Now, sometimes I do listen to Christian music, I do listen to gospel music, and that helps a lot. But really having some jazz music where there's nothing, it could be also instrumental music. Instrumental music with no words. It really will allow you to really just have that rhythm, that routine of being calm and having joy and having peace. And let me tell you, that makes a world of difference, because it's not about you being in your thoughts. It's about you having peace. It's about you having joy all around you. That's what it's about. And then in the necessary, what's the necessary? I love Luke chapter 10, verse 34 and 35. We got to do what's necessary. And so, what's necessary is rewriting your story. Rewriting your story of the things that you've told yourself that you're stuck, or that you're tired, or that you don't know where to start. And really being able to build what's necessary, rooted in God's promise and not your pressure, or not the pressure that, one, you put on yourself, or two, the pressure that you see, that you feel like you must imitate because you see it from the world, you see it from social media, you see it from TV commercials, you see it from other moms, or maybe there's other moms who, like me in the past, had the mask on and pretending that everything was okay. So you get to rewrite your story. This framework has helped working moms. It's helped me, but it's also helped working moms step into promotions, regain joy, restore marriages, heal emotionally, set powerful boundaries, deepen their relationship with God, and feel like a human being and not a human doing. Can I say that again? It helps them to feel like a human being and not a human doing. Let me tell you, I had to tell myself repeatedly that I am a human being and not a human doing. I am a human being what God has created me to be. I am not a human doing the things that I feel I need to be doing. Simple as that. So when you join this program, I want to tell you how your life changes. So, one, you have peace that stays, not peace that you fight for. You learn how to create internal and external peace, even when life is full. And you become emotionally steady, spiritually grounded, and mentally clear. Number two, you have an alignment with God that guides every decision. So you stop guessing, you stop hustling, you stop forcing things. Oh my goodness. Can we talk about that for a second? You know how we force things because we want it or we feel like that's what we should have? God is saying, hey, if it was meant for you, you wouldn't have to force it. God is the visionary. So because he's the visionary, he is going to make it happen. And because he's making it happen, you're going to be led in that direction. And then everything becomes rooted in his timing, in God's timing, and in God's wisdom, and in God's clarity. Third thing is that you now have a sustainable lifestyle that honors the vision that God has called you to and your family. So you don't have this cycle of burnout. You're not on that hamster wheel, just doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. You're not in survival mode. And you're not having chaos, and you're definitely not creating it. Because now you have a sustainable rhythm that feels good to you, to your home, and the vision that God has called you for. So after the program, I've heard moms say things like, I feel like myself again, or my home feels peaceful, or I'm no longer overwhelmed, or I'm confident now in my calling than I was ever before, or I finally have clarity about what God wants me to do next. And my favorite thing is, I can breathe. They leave this program renewed, refreshed, restored, and strengthened from the inside out. So, let me speak to you, the woman right now who's listening, who feels tired. You know you need support. You know you need clarity. You know that life cannot continue the way it's been going. And let me tell you, timing matters. This cohort is the perfect moment to step in because one, December is a month of reflection, release, and reset. So you get to end this year knowing that you've already claimed your restoration for 2026. And January is a month of new beginnings. So with you ending the year, knowing that you're about to claim your restoration, you start the restoration process the week of January 5th. And it's a powerful way to begin your year aligned, clear, rested, and most importantly, whole. Now, this program only opens up a few times a year. So once the doors close, they're closed for a while. Keep that in mind. And the last day to express interest is December 12th. You cannot afford to miss this window. If you've been waiting for the right time, this is the right time. Your peace is calling you, your clarity is calling you, and your next level is calling you. So If you feel that this is for you, this is what I want you to do next. I want you to complete an interest form, which is in the show notes. And once you complete the interest form, once you submit it, you'll receive a follow-up email with next steps in the schedule to opportunity to schedule a empowered breakthrough call with me. Now, I do want to say this is not a high pressure sales call, okay? It's a discernment call to make sure that this program aligns with your needs in the next season. Again, the doors open today, and the last day to express interest is December 12th, 2025. So I want to remind you, you deserve to feel whole. You deserve to feel supported. You deserve to wake up with clarity, confidence, and peace. And yes, you deserve to thrive, not just survive. Your life may be full, and I get it. Mine is too, but it doesn't have to be overwhelming. Your calling may be great, but you don't have to carry it alone. I know God has a vision for your life. After all, He is the visionary. And part of that vision includes rest, alignment, purpose, and abundance or overflow. And the Empowered Working Mom Coaching Program is your invitation to step into it. Imagine ending 2025 having lived a year of peace instead of pressure. Or I should say, imagine ending 2026 having lived a year of peace instead of pressure. Imagine 2026 being a year of alignment instead of anxiety. And imagine 2026 being a year of purpose instead of survival. And it all starts with one decision today, one decision that you are worth making and you are worth deserving. So if this spoke to you, I want you to take the next step in completing the interest form in the link in the show notes. I would be so honored to walk alongside you in this journey. Until next time, I want you to remember, God is your visionary. He is leading you, and He is leading you to be an empowered working mom. The next season is going to be the best season that God has at the start for you. Until next time, I want to thank you for joining me in this episode of Empowering the Working Mom podcast. I can't wait to touch base with you, learn more about you, connect with you, and share more about the Empowered Working Mom coaching program with you. Until then, take care. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Empowering the Working Mom podcast. As you reflect on the empowering moments, remember that you are not alone in this journey. It takes a whole village to be a working mom. Discover how big your village is by joining fellow working moms in our private Empowering Working Mom online community, where we continue this conversation and support each other every step of the way. Until next time, you got this because God has you.